editing a video and I completely lost track of time. I have just tried out a sample of Trini London's BFF cream, the original one, but I got it in dark because they changed my Match to Me shade. They used to say use medium and then all of a sudden changed it to dark, and I actually prefer dark, so I think I might have to get myself a tube of that. It actually is more like my Unisex Healthy Glow as it was. Hello, Terry. So yeah, so I've got the Trini. Hello, Maria. Sorry I'm late. I was editing a video that I did yesterday and I completely lost track of time, and I looked at the watch and thought, oh, crumbs. Hello, Natasha. So I just, I got a new product from Trini London, which I'm going to do a review of probably tomorrow now. But it's the mascara and the brow wand in one. So I'm going to do a first impression review tomorrow. And I got a sample of the BFF cream in dark. Oh, thank you. The BFF cream in dark. And the really weird thing is, has anyone else noticed this? I actually became part of Trini London right at the beginning. So when Trini was in this tiny little house, and she had all these assistants sort of roaming around on the ground floor. She's brought out new italic shades today. Oh, I'll have to have a look at those. So I was there right from the start, and I did my Match to Me, which I got slightly wrong in terms of the foundation shade. Hello, Lisa. And but some of the things that were in my original Match to Me are now no longer in my original Match to Me. And some of the things that weren't in there have been added and changed. So as it's developed their system, they've kind of changed some of the products. And one of the things was that they now recommend BFF, the original one, not the serum. The BFF cream they now recommend to me in dark, whereas before they recommended it in medium. And I've been considering purchasing it, but instead what I did is I ordered this brow kit, and I ordered a sample of it. It was available as a sample, and I actually quite like it. It's very close to what Charlotte Tilbury's Unisex Healthy Glow used to look like on me before she messed about with the colour. Hello, Rebecca. So I'm not prepared at all because I did a video yesterday about another video about getting made up when you're in pain, because I have been in really bad pain. Yesterday, I was a tearful wreck, as Rebecca will tell you, because we video chatted. And so I did a video about it. And I've just been editing it, and I wanted to put it on Instagram as well as YouTube. And Instagram won't let you upload anything longer than 15 minutes on your phone. So I was kind of editing it down, lost track of time. Anyway, I'm going to use the Lisa Eldridge. Oh, I was a wreck yesterday. Come on, I was. So I am just going to use the Lisa Eldridge foundation. Now, little tip. You know that on her site, let me see if I can find this. On her site, she sells a very expensive brush to apply her foundation with. And I wasn't going to go for that. It was something like £57 or something. But her brush that she sells is flat. And so yesterday I thought, let me try. I've got a flat brush from Charlotte Tilbury. Flat foundation brush. Let me try applying it with the flat brush. And actually, although I don't usually use flat brushes to apply foundation, it actually applies really well with a flat foundation brush. So if you have one, you don't necessarily have to go and buy the Lisa Eldridge one, but it does, look at it, it does apply really well with a flat brush. So give it a try, even if you're not a flat brush fan. No, it doesn't streak. Look. It's beautiful. Doesn't streak at all with the flat brush. So it got me using my old flat brush from Charlotte Tilbury. I thought, I wonder, because she sells a flat brush to go with her foundation, let me try it with a flat brush. I bet we all have got a flat brush we don't use. Exactly. You're so right, Lisa. That was Lisa, wasn't it, that said that? Oops. Yes. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Terry. Who has released italic shades? Oh, Trini, yes. I tried with a flat brush and was okay, but I preferred my fingers, to be honest. Whatever you prefer. Whatever you think looks best. What I love about this foundation as well is I haven't done my first impression yet, but what I love about it is it's so buildable. It's a real makeup artist foundation, which I suppose doesn't surprise me, given that it's Lisa Eldridge. And I actually use this on my eyes. The other thing that I've been trying it out in different ways. The other thing I noticed is that Daniel Sandler's watercolor blushes look beautiful over the top of it. They really blend in beautifully to the foundation. Yeah, so at the moment I'm sort of like, why use two products when you can use one? Which is why I'm using it as a concealer. And then what I do is I kind of dab the brush and then I can pat it on areas where I want a little bit more coverage. It really is very buildable. Now, the thing I don't like about it, which is tiny, it's nothing really to do with the product, more to do with the packaging. Beautiful bottle, but you have to keep it in the box because it doesn't stand, which is probably good because it keeps it fresher by keeping it in the box. But you can't take it out the box and put it on the table. So in that respect, it's probably not a makeup artist foundation, because I think that would drive them nuts if they had 10 shades. It sits on its sued. Is that what it's called? This thing. On its side. Oh! It sits on its side. Oh, yeah. Like a little magic bullet. Thank you for that. Didn't think of that. Duh. Sorry, that's what Jack and Mick say to me. Duh. And then they go into the Scarecrow song from The Wizard of Oz, If I Only Had a Brain. And also what I like is that when you build this up, you could sit here all day just going like this, and it never looks really cakey. And using a flat brush makes me feel like more of an artist, you know. I'm kind of painting my face. Did anyone see that thing? I sent it to a couple of you. The woman on YouTube that was doing her face with a paint roller. She put 2 plasters on her eyes and a plaster over her mouth and got a foam paint roller and started doing that with her foundation. And everyone underneath in the comments just put, why? What? But why? And my comment was, gives a new meaning to the phrase, just going to put my wall paint on. Yeah, you see some crazy things on Instagram. You see, that's all right as a concealer. I mean, if I wanted to brighten it up, I could put something else on. I'll put a little bit of my Aldi on. How does this one compare with CT Magic Foundation? This is it feels a lot lighter. Do you mean Magic, not Airbrush Flawless? You definitely mean Magic Foundation and not Airbrush Flawless. I would say this feels lighter. It sets really quickly. It feels a lot lighter, but it's got decent coverage. Magic Foundation is probably quite similar, but I think where it would differ, it's not as much of a dewy finish. It's probably got a little bit more coverage, although this is quite good coverage, but it doesn't set down as quickly. This one sets down quite quickly, so you don't feel like you have to put lots of powder on it. And of course, there's a lot more shades. It's really difficult to describe this foundation because in some ways it's quite sheer, the coverage, and yet in some ways it's not. And I can't quite put it into words. It gives you, I think there's a lot of colour correcting pigment in it. So it really does colour correct. Whereas if I put another foundation on that was this thin, it wouldn't do it. It wouldn't correct that pigment. But it does feel like when you put it's a little bit of tackiness here because I put a bit more, I put a bit extra here. But it just feels weightless. Now I'm going to combine the Aldi dark with the Aldi medium. I still can't get over this being medium. You'll finish your magic. Yeah, good idea. I'm so bad at buying foundation. I never finish one before buying another because I'm always looking for that kind of holy grail. And of course, there's the other one that's really good that I got, where you match yourself online. Oh, I just had a text to say that Jack's got a detention, and now I'm going to get a text or a call from Mick. If I suddenly go offline and he's forgotten I'm doing a live, it'll be he's ringing me to tell me that Jack's got a detention. I don't think he realises that I get the same text. Sometimes I think his school hands out detentions like Smarties. All his friends say that some of the teachers, they just look for things to give them detentions for. Hello, Karma Shots. Welcome. Hello, Stacey. You're at work. Okay, you'll catch up later. Thank you for popping on and saying hello, Stacey. The indent is made to be the spot that rests on the table. Oh, yeah. It does look like a bullet lying like that, though, doesn't it? But you see, if a makeup artist has got different shades, they're making up a client. I'm surprised that she didn't. You're not gonna see what shade's what like that, are you? I mean, it doesn't matter for us, but it's very pretty shape. I've got loads of foundation on the lid already. Right, now, I've got nothing around me. My little travel size of airbrush. You're looking for a good anti-aging cream. What's your budget, Karma? What sort of budget? I tell you what has come out just the other day. Are you in the UK? Need an instant fix. Okay. There's so many different ranges at different budgets. First of all, I think the thing to say is that skincare takes 6 weeks to work. Right? You're in the UK. Okay. If you want your skin to have that immediate glow, then I definitely recommend the Victoria Beckham primer. It's not cheap, but I put it on in the morning and it does definitely, people have noticed and said, what are you doing to your skin? It's I bought the one in golden, but it's expensive. You can get a 15 ml size. It's about £59 for 15 mils. But it is very good and it does give you that je ne sais quoi, especially if you're not wearing a lot of makeup. Now, in terms of skincare, there's a couple of things. Now, Nadine Baggott, I take it we all know who Nadine Baggott is. Nadine Baggott has bought out a winter skincare box in Boots. That's why I asked if you were in the UK. It's £30 and they're all Superdrug, a lot of Superdrug products, but they're all really good. So it's got in there everything that you need for your skin. And you know Nadine is very knowledgeable about her skincare. Now, in there is a really good cleanser which has got hyaluronic acid and niacinamide in it, which are both really good ingredients for the skin. And it's kind of a gel cleanser that you wash in and then wash off. So it's got a full size of that. They're all full sizes. It's got a vitamin C, but it's a strong vitamin C, again from Superdrug. And it's got vitamin C with ferulic acid in it, which again is really good for the skin. She's then got a vitamin E serum in there as well, and a ceramide moisturizer. And then for the night, she's got the 0.3% retinol. And 0.3% is what they call the sweet spot. She always calls it the sweet spot. So it's your entry level into retinol if you've never used retinol, because retinol can make your skin irritated. But if you've never used retinol before, that's where you start, is 0.3%. And it sounds really low, but trust me, when I started on my retinol journey, 0.3, I went berserk and thought, oh, this isn't going to irritate me. Started using it every night, and my skin started peeling and going red and everything else. Hello, Shahina. So, obviously, if you use retinol for years, then it's probably not strong enough. You probably need something stronger, but that is definitely good. I've also recently invested in something that's quite expensive retinol wise, but it's something that you should only really get if you've been using retinol for a long while. And it's a type of retinol that is not your first conversion. It is basically retinol. I have a look at my community post, because Trini did a video about retinols and explained it all in the post, and talked about how retinols got to convert from one thing to the next thing to the next thing before it's converted into what your skin uses. I definitely think for anti-aging you need vitamin C and retinol. And there are all sorts of price ranges. Which retinol did I buy? Medic 8. Very expensive one, but it's supposed to be new, groundbreaking. You only need one step before it converts into what your skin uses, so it acts really quickly. And I have never ever got tretinoin from the GP, although it is recommended if you've got pigmentation. So I wanted to do that last zap, and my pigmentation is definitely better. But I only started using it last week, and of course I'm so tempted to use it every night, but I have to sit on my hands because I could get irritated. So I'm using that one night, and then my magic cream night the other night, because I do like my magic night cream. You use tretinoin, yeah? Well, this is one step below, so it's one step before prescription, and it's called Retinol 8. It's a mixture of Retinol 8 and retinol. Right, so, and it's combined into this thing, and basically it's only got one conversion before it's whatever tretinoin does for you. Yes, but this Retinol 8 formulation is expensive, but I think my skin felt really soft the next day. And I've never gone and had fillers. I've never gone to cosmetic surgeons. I've not even been able to go and have a facial. And so I thought, well, I am going to invest in that. I'm going to give it a try. As you know, last year I tried the SkinCeuticals range, which I liked as well. I do like their vitamin C. But again, just thinking, right, okay, I've tried the vitamin C thing. I'll carry on with a cheaper vitamin C and try a more expensive retinol. You would always recommend a Foreo UFO. Yes, of course. And I did a great video on the Foreo UFO. And it's still buried away somewhere. That actually is really good. And have a look at my video. There's so many things. I'd have to do a whole video on it. When I ran out, I bought Medicate Crystal 10. Yeah, that's the strongest one, isn't it? The Crystal 10. But this isn't crystal, this is something else. I went onto their site and said, which Crystal 10 should I get? And they said, no, get this one, which is even more expensive. This Retinol 8. Because it's got this, there's It's not retinol. There's retinoate and something else in it. Retinoic acid, I think. Retinoic acid and retinoate, which are kind of one step before tretinoin. I've probably confused you completely now. It's a great question, but there's so many things, Karma, that I could suggest. But, so basically, if you've used retinol for a long time, but only if you've used it for a long time, then let me know and I'll give you the details of that retinoate stuff. But don't start that if you've never used retinol before, because it's too strong. You need to actually work your way up to that. But the other thing is the boots kit, and I'm quite tempted to accept. I've got so much stuff now, I need to work through it, but I'm very tempted by that boots kit because it's got everything in it. And as I say, that Nadine Bagger she is the queen of skincare. She knows her stuff. Yes, keep in touch with me. Are you on Instagram, Karma Shots? If you are, DM me on Ali M's Beauty, and I can think more about what you might need. But I had to buy 2 of the Crystal Retinol. I didn't know they did Crystal Retinol 20, Shahina. Now I've learned something new. You can also, I've got an email address on my account, but I'm really bad at checking it, really. I'm very bad at checking my emails. I have got an Ali M's Beauty email account for my channel. But, yeah, just, if you can, message me on Instagram. Now, I thought what I would do is use these 2 teal. I know I'm not wearing teal today, but these are just lovely. I'm waiting on my other little individual ones to try, but I thought I'd just do this today because these do look lovely on. I tried a little bit with my fingers yesterday and thought, ooh, must give that a go. So I've got Stormwatch, which is a matte teal, and then I've got this beautiful shimmery teal. You're welcome, Karma. Once you get onto Instagram, you'll be bombarded with skincare products from all sorts of companies. Right, let's try this with a brush. You've gone back to tretinoin gel. And why did you get prescribed tretinoin, Shahina, if you don't mind? Is it pigmentation or sort of skincare issues? Ali is inspirational. Oh, thank you, Nina. What a fan. Nina witnessed my tearful wreck of a person yesterday. I was just very, very emotional. I got myself to bed early last night. Got myself all comfortable because Mick's not here in the week, so I could just really stretch out. This shade is called Stormwatch, and I'm going to I want to build up that matte shade in the corner. I've got a lot of teal clothes and a lot of purple clothes. I need to blend that out a bit at the top, but I can do that in a minute. Oh, you can buy it directly abroad. And has it made a big difference, Shahina? Nadine says you shouldn't use tretinoin unless you've got major skin issues because it's too much for your skin, but she does say it's good for pigmentation and it's good for acne. But she says for aging, you don't need it. And I was tempted to try it for my pigmentation, which is why I've worked my way up to something as strong as I can get off prescription in this country. That applies better with the smudge brush. Your notifications are not working. What, you weren't notified that I was doing my live? Well, I'm definitely going to need a bit of a transition shade going on with this. But I'm loving the teal shade, and I'm going to take that underneath. This is a work in progress at the moment. So just to repeat, this is called Stormwatch. So if you like your teals, you can buy these. Now, you can buy it from MAC. You can buy them like that, or you can buy them in the little kind of single containers. But I am making up a palette of my own. So I've bought them like that, and I've got the empty palette coming from Look Fantastic in a couple of days' time. So I'm going to do a little video and show you how I put them in and label them and everything. I realised a long time ago beauty products are just beauty, but I've gone down the science route, which works. Yes. There's a lot of beauty BS around, and you have to kind of navigate your way around the beauty BS, don't you? Now, for instance, Nadine Baggott says this thing about, and I suspected this was the case. Now, I'm not saying that everything Nadine Baggott says is absolutely Bible either. I don't know enough to give a comment on that. But Nadine Baggott says what I've long since suspected is this whole new thing about blue light. Damage from blue light and your equipment is all a bit of a marketing con. And when it first came in, I remember being on one of those Charlotte Tilbury, whatever they do, you know, and I typed blue light. What is this thing about blue light? Is it real? And then oh yes, it's real, and it can be really damaging on your face and blah, 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 blah. But Nadine Baggott says it's just, don't worry about it. I'm going to apply this with my fingers. This is the Dazzle Extreme, and this is called Emerald Cut. Maybe not, maybe. I do need to find my flat brushes, my flat eye brushes, because I have got some. I just need to get them out. Now this, I reckon, it would look even better if I wet it. Oh yes, we like this. Now when I get my full palette, I'm going to do a purple and teal look, because I love purple and teal on the eyes. I like that. I'm going to put a bit of that underneath as well. I don't mind you asking at all. I am 51. And that's when you all go, how old? You only look 20. I used to get that a lot. Before I had my son, people would say, I don't believe your age, but they don't tell me that anymore. Up until my mid-30s, people thought I was in my late teens. Probably something to do with my height as well. Oh, thank you, Karma. Nadine, they're the people that introduced you. So they got you on it. I have picked up some of Ali's recommendations and have been absolutely thrilled. Oh, thank you, Cher. You look way younger than you are. Thank you, Maria. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted you to say. You see, I was hinting at you all to say it. But we shouldn't all want that, should we? We shouldn't all want to be thought of as younger. I actually feel about 28. I think I always will. So old enough to be sensible, but young enough to be a bit silly sometimes as well. I think always in my head I'll be 28. You're 45. I don't even have wrinkles. I don't and I do, Terry. I don't have wrinkles here, but under my eyes, I've got a lot of fine lines here. And my mum was the same. That is genetic. Genetically, we have good skin, but genetically, our eyes age the first in our family. You know, the women in our family, it's the eyes under here. They start getting crepey quite quickly. But the rest of me, yeah, I like my skin, but I have always looked after it. I've always, you know, even when I was younger, even when I was in my late teens, I made a thing about good skincare. I'm 42, but my son says I act about 29. My son will tell you the same. I act silly. And he goes, oh, Mum, stop it. Stop it. He really told me off a few weeks ago. I'll tell you in a minute. I'm just going to get some eyeshadow. And he was right to tell me off, but it was really like my son telling mother off. Because I was coming back from foot health, and I knew I'd be coming back at the time that he would be coming out of school, but I didn't know how late I was going to be. So I told him to walk home, but I drove down the route that he walks home so that if I saw him, I could stop the car and pick him up. And I told him this, and I said, when I pull in, I'm going to pull in and say, do you want to buy a sweetie, little boy? Right? And he was going, Mum, stop it, you'll be arrested. You'll be arrested. And so every time he got in the car, I would go, do you want to buy a sweetie, little boy? He's going, Mum, stop it now, please. I don't want you to be taken away. And he gets really upset with me. He's absolutely right, of course. I should not stop the car and shout out the window, do you want some sweeties, little boy? He's absolutely right. But he got so like, Mum, stop it. Don't even joke. Right, I need a tissue because my nose is running, and I also need to find a transition shade. A nice transition shade to just blend that top of that teal out. Ah, there's one in that purple palette, isn't it? No, exactly, you can't have white. And the more they get annoyed with something, it's just very funny. But he's absolutely right that he doesn't want me to get arrested, so I hardly think. I think if I did that to a 6-year-old boy, then I agree. That isn't even funny. But a 13-year-old kid who, by the way, is over a foot taller than me now. He's 5'8.5" and I'm 4'8". I really don't think anyone's going to think he's in danger. I carry on like that with Zach. Winds him up. It's hilarious. Yeah, I'm going to use this transition shade out of this palette. Of course, I could have done a purple and teal look today, but I'm saving that for when I get my bespoke colours. I'm always going on about MAC Kid. I don't know if they sell it anymore. They bought it back for a while. But MAC Kid is definitely a staple eyeshadow to have in your kit. Because MAC Kid is a bit lighter than this. But it is just the perfect eyeshadow. It's just a matte eyeshadow, a bit lighter than this. But it's just perfect for blending out these lines. This one's a little bit dark, so it would be all right if you're my skin tone, but not as good if you're fairer. It would probably be a bit too dark. But if you want the holy grail of blending out difficult to blend out eyeshadows, treat yourself to MAC Kids. It's KIDD. And it'll look nothing in the pan, and you'll think, why did I spend my money on that? But you will use it and use it and use it. I've got it in one of my palettes. I should have got it out and showed you. I'll get that out and show you when I do my new bespoke palette. I love a teal, and I'm going to put this this new green as well on. This is the green, by the way, and this is a limited edition, but it's very soft, and it's called Pine for Me. It's one of the MAC. It's the one I showed on my recent video doing the eyeshadow palette, but it's very soft, and it's a lovely bottle green. And if you've got yellow undertone in your skin, you know, a warm undertone, often what happens is with greens is they end up going a different colour on you. You put, like, you'll see the green and you'll think, oh, it's a lovely green. And you put it on and it just looks brown, or it looks blue, or it looks something else. But this green, because it's a really rich bottle green, is not going to, it's not going to change colour as much. It's going to stay truer to its colour. And if you miss that Eyes to Mesmerise in Cleopatra, this is getting quite close to it, although it doesn't have the kind of duochrome. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm definitely more impressed these days with MAC eyeshadows than I used to be. They've definitely improved. And I've got to do my other library palette review for you guys as well. What I shall do is I'll take that highlighter shade from that other palette and use that as well. This one. Yeah, you were saying the same, weren't you, Nina? Because it used to be, I remember having this lovely purple shade, and I got it, and it was so sheer and so hard and powdery that I used to get the end of the eyeshadow thing and literally dig it in to pick up the pigment, because otherwise you couldn't see it. And I had that experience a few times with MAC, and I gave up for years. I think the first time I realised that they'd upped their game was that, and do you know what? I suddenly thought about it the other day and thought, I must dig that one out because I really loved it. Is that one, you know, the spring collection she brought out? Is it a couple of years ago now, probably? The one, they were like cherries on the front. I'm just going to dab a bit of this highlighter in the middle to give that extra zing. They were all in special edition packaging, and I've still got the lipsticks. I love them all. And they brought out a special edition MAC Fix Plus in cherry blossom to go with the items. And the eyeshadow palette was so good. And this one is really good. Really good formula. Terry, was it Terry was going to get the warm one? Did you get it, Terry? Ali, you certainly don't look your age. I'm Bridget Jones 28 on Instagram. I'm 59 and I'm also stuck on 28 in my head. It's only a number, exactly. Zing shadows. We heard it here first with Ali. Yeah, so what's all this about, though? I don't quite kind of get it. I mean, it's nice, but I don't get it. Why put that on an eyeshadow palette? Can anyone tell me? And this as well. This does annoy me, because if you're putting a palette on, you can't put it on hands-free. You have to lean it up against something if you want to go hands-free. Otherwise, you've got to hold it. And really, if I'm often thinking about people with coordination problems, because as a kid, I had coordination problems. And I don't now, but I'm painfully aware of what the issues are. And that would be really difficult to hold if you're using the mirror. So, not sure why they did that. Oh, I need to put a little bit of that in here. Did I put some in here? I don't think I did. It's for hypnotizing cats. Yeah, and I was thinking it wouldn't be very good if you were epileptic. You could be Mac's accessibility consultant. I'd love to be an accessibility consultant for a lot of makeup teams. I think if they realised how much people with long-term conditions use and buy makeup, they would be targeting us. They wouldn't just be having to be forced to think about us as a kind of add-on. They'd literally be coming after us, because I think a lot of people with long-term conditions actually buy stuff like that. Sorry, I've just seen something pop up on my YouTube. Somebody's commented on one of my videos, and the name rings a bell. It just distracted me. Anyway, so that is the eyeshadow look. I need to find some mascara. Mascara. Ah, I have some. I have the Pillow Talk one. And yesterday for my video, I used one of the samples of this, and I realised how quickly these Pillow Talk mascaras dry out because the sample was crazy. So I think I need to get a new one of these. There's still stuff in there, but it does dry out quite quickly, I think. Now, the other thing with this one, I mean, you can do this with any of them, but particularly this one, and it's marketed as such, is provided you're not too sensitive to it, you can actually tight line with this by literally just sort of pressing the brush on the upper waterline, just to give a bit more. Cherry Blossom, that was it. MAC Cherry Blossom. Love that palette. Excuse my mascara face. Goldfish. The highlighter was total rubbish. I don't think I got the highlighter. Did I get the highlighter? I remember the eyeshadow palette was beautiful. I think years gone by, they used to be a bit complacent. They used to focus on their pro products for makeup artists, and the rest of it they didn't really focus on because they kind of thought, well, they're not going to know any better. I think they were very much assuming that makeup artists were the only, the pro products were the only things that they really needed to get right. And now I think makeup consumers have become so savvy about what makes a good eyeshadow palette and what doesn't, that they all started to move away and go on to other brands like Charlotte Tilbury and things like Urban Decay. And now they realise they've got to get people back. I've nearly run out of my airbrush Flawless Finish powder, and I'm considering getting the Daniel Sandler one, because that's one that makeup artists rave about. I was considering getting that one to try out. I'm going to leave my brows because I might actually film that video after this. The video about the new Trini product, which is, oh, mind you, it's also mascara, isn't it? Maybe not. But, so, and I'll do my brows then. Revolution Pro. Yeah, do you know what, Nina? You're waiting for the sale, are you, Shahina? Are you wearing the Lisa foundation? Yes, I am wearing the Lisa Eldridge foundation, Shahina. And I just applied it with a flat brush. Because she's selling a flat brush to go with her foundation, which I didn't buy because it was something like £57. I thought I'm going to try applying it with a flat brush, and I did it the other day, and it applies really well with a flat brush. So if you've got a flat brush at home, don't have to buy the Lisa one. I've got the Charlotte Tilbury flat brush that I've never used for ages. So I've been using that to apply it, and it does work really beautifully with the flat brush. You know what I've noticed a lot of people doing these days? They never used to do it. I'm going to show you. With the eyebrow thing, I've noticed a lot of people doing this. Normally people would do that, but I've noticed a lot of people applying their brow product like that and literally brushing against the grain of the thingy to fill it in. You use it to apply your face mask. We'll give it a clean up. And then they brush it the right way. And I think it does get more product onto your brows. You think it looks slightly grey on me? Maybe I need some bronzer. It's interesting you say that, Terry, because Lisa describes this foundation as neutral. And you know, I've talked about we're all on a spectrum. So I'm somewhere between neutral and warm. I'm not completely warm and I'm not completely neutral. But the one that she had for olive skin definitely looked too pale. And then when I checked the ones going up, they looked too dark. So I think it is, I need some bronzer. So I'll get some bronzer in a minute. Because I haven't put any face products. But this was a very close match when I put it on here because it just disappeared into my skin. Right, that's legendary. The only downside with doing that is you get some product over your brows. I'm going to fill in with the lines. You're also between neutral and warm. Yeah. You can buy products now. I've done it with the Daniel Sandler watercolors. You can buy products now that neutralize foundations or make them warmer or make them cooler and stuff like that. I saw them. Where did I see them? Oh, Beauty Bay. If you go onto Beauty Bay, you can buy, there's 3 products. One that makes things cooler, one that makes them warmer, and one that makes them more neutral. And you just add it to your foundation. As I said, I've done it with So Pretty, Daniel Sandler's watercolor blush. Actually, I'm going to put that. Remember I said that this goes. Now, I have put a bit of powder on this, but I think I'll get away with it because it's sunk in. I'm going to show you Daniel's watercolor blushes and what they look like on this foundation because I think it's a really good match. They go well together. Let's put a bit of Glamour. Give it a good shake. Right, back on my hand. Glamour is a lovely terracotta shade. Really pretty. Now, I just need to make sure I've got no eyeshadow left on my fingers or I'm going to start putting it on my face. Don't worry, I am going to blend it in. And I use a clean finger and then start tapping. And if you start doing that, you're going to push the, it's going to loosen up the foundation and you'll just push the foundation around. So tap, tap, tap. Most makeup artists have got this in their kit. Some of Daniel Sandler's watercolor blushes, because they look so natural. They just look like your skin. And then I'm going to find one of his highlighters, because I've gone a bit far up with that side, but that doesn't matter because I'll use one of his highlighters. No. Nope. Come on, highlighters, where are you? No, not that one. That one will do. Now, I don't know the name of this one because the name's come off it. Shall I get icing? Where's icing? I'll get icing. Because at least then I can tell you guys what the name is. I do like this one though. I forgot. Oh, is this? No, that's... It's not a highlighter. I thought it was a highlighter. I think that one's gentle. Sorry, I've suddenly got a frog in my throat from talking too much. So icing is a kind of pinky frosty highlighter. Definitely need a good shake, these. I've had these far too long. But they're fine. Right, this is icing. Remember to like the live, ladies. Thank you, Shahina. You're always reminding people. Yeah, very pretty. Just keep patting it with your fingers. Don't push. As I say, because it will lift your foundation. But it works beautifully with Lisa's foundations. You can put this here as well. It's so versatile. Or you can, as I say, use it here. Put it on with one finger and then blend it with another so you don't put too much on. And I'll put a little bit. Over my lip. And he's got some offers coming up over Christmas, Daniel Sandler. So check him out. Now, lipsticks. I took his lipstick upstairs yesterday to film that video. So I can't use that. What have I got here? Super Nude. Oh, we need a bronzer as well, don't we? Bear with me a minute. I'll get a bronzer. Shall I put Super Nude on? Yeah, I think so. I'll just get the bronzer because I definitely need a little bit of bronzer. I'll be right back. I'm going to use a bit of shade 2 for a change. I normally use tan, but I'm going to use shade 2. And I'm going to put it on with this Real Techniques brush. It's just a bit more subtle on me than, obviously, than tan. But certainly in the winter, I can get away with medium because it's a little bit more subtle. Do my ears. Always forget to do my ears. Right, that's a bronzer. And let's do Super Nude. And I shall use... No, definitely don't want that. That's far too dark. Let me use Love Trap. That should do. I'm going to fill my lips in with this as well, because this is going to make it a slight bit darker. And then Super Nude. There we have it. I wish I had some spray near me as well, but I haven't. Don't know what I've done with any of my setting sprays. They're not round the side of me. Never mind. I shall spray my face afterwards. Oh, you're off, are you, Cher? Take care. Yes, I've got CT Pinkasm. Did you want to see it? I will swatch it for you and send you a picture later. Okay, I shall do that because it's not within reach at the moment, but I will do that for you. Okay, I'm going to head off. I hope you've enjoyed this. Watch out for my... I don't know what I'm calling it yet. I did a video about... I've done ones before about this issue, about being in pain and just how makeup makes you feel. I'm always in two minds about doing it because I don't want pity. And I think we talked about that on here before. It's not because I want sympathy or pity, but I also want to... I know a lot of other people are going through similar things and that it's useful to share on bad days as well as good. So, that's coming up next, and I'll probably be putting it on Instagram as well. I might do a shortened version on Instagram and then another one on YouTube. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Mwah. Bye-bye.